We were asked by Wilson Learning to update a series of videos they produced in the past as part of a negotiation training. The curriculum was great, but they felt that the video content was a bit dated.
So, Bob. It is Bob, right?
Beyond camera and quality, their script needed to consider the modern media palette. Characters in TV and film don't say what they feel, and that trend has made it unacceptable in training films.
Pushing the schedule will run up costs and jeopardize the capacity and morale of my operation, and I'm very sensitive about that.
These videos focused on a nebulous machine that was the source of frustration, but the stakes were never fully clear and didn't warrant our sympathy as viewers.
The market has changed. We need to release this new machine.
For the talking head didactic portions, intended to highlight key learning points, there were a number of subconscious barriers we wanted to remove. Namely, placing the subject matter expert behind a cluttered desk created unstated distance between him and the learner. Also, since there was no motivation behind the color scheme, Wilson missed the opportunity to subtly reinforce their brand. Now, bear with me, but this next piece of information is relevant. A French film theorist found that prisoners without access to media could not follow the plots of mainstream movies upon their release from jail. Anyone who has revisited a favorite childhood show only to find it awkward and boring can appreciate this phenomenon. We take it for granted that as media language evolves, we seamlessly evolve with it. Therefore, Sage Media needed to emulate the kind of content that Wilson's learners regularly consume. One way we did this was to utilize subtext, letting the characters exhibit body language that contradicted their words. In fact, most of the dialogue was irrelevant. Their body language conveyed the necessary information, just like it does in our day-to-day interactions with people. We leveraged the unique ways our brains subconsciously process media. For example, shooting with longer lenses puts us closer to the presenter, which has the neurological effect of making him more appealing and memorable. The new color scheme not only reinforced the Wilson brand, but also reflected the shades of gray nature of negotiation. Finally, we moved the scenarios away from a nebulous B2B interaction inside a generic office, placing one conflict inside of a jewelry store, where the owner has to deal with the subjective tastes of a dissatisfied client. Having her wear sunglasses inside built in subliminal resistance that was reduced as our protagonist exercised the right negotiation tactics. By creating analogous circumstances to what our audience typically encounters, we created an inductive learning experience, forcing viewers to think about the content in a different way, which would allow them to draw conclusions for themselves. Our recommendations did more than update an excellent curriculum. We made overt and implicit suggestions that allowed learners to engage in critical thinking, helping them connect to the training emotionally, and in ways that made it easier to recall later while under duress, when they need it most.